Now it's time to get the inside scoop on all the electricity going on in Mississippi Thunder Speedway. It's time for Thunder Talk with Dan Bailey, brought to you by Jailhouse Saloon. Now, here's your host, Dan Bailey.
Very first edition of Thunder Talk for the month of May. And believe it or not, we've already got some green flag action to talk about. This past Friday night was the 2019 season opener at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. And I tell you what, I don't think this is hyperbole. The race fans were given a treat last Friday night. A lot of great fun on-track action under beautiful blue skies before that threat of nasty weather came in for Saturday and Sunday. Friday night was a race fan's dream for a season opener. And joining me on Thunder Talk this week is a gentleman who enjoyed a bit of a dream start, at least at MTS this past Friday night. Adam Hensel, driver of the number 44 LDR Modified.
Hey, Dan. Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure to be on the show and an honor.
First of all, congratulations on a perfect start to 2019 at MTS. Last Friday night, everything clicked for you guys, or at least it looked like it, because that 44 ended up in victory lane.
Yeah, this dirt dueler from Dolman Racing has been pretty sporty this year in the Kansas here to start off the year with, and that didn't go very good for us. We were chasing a little bit of electrical issues, but other than Kansas, we got a second and a first so far now. So Les and Big Adam at the Les Dolman Racing shop, they really got this thing dialed in, and Bob and Jake Tim under the hood here with OFI Performance is just running excellent. I can't say enough about any of them guys.
Before we really delve into Friday night's win and the performance that you enjoyed, tell us how this relationship with Les Dolman Racing got started for you.
It's a long story, but I actually didn't have a whole lot of modified experience. I think Mike Sorensen let me drive my first modified back in 2006 when I was doing a lot of late model racing, and that's really all I had up to driving Les's car. He called me one week and asked if I want to come drive it, and it went really well. I think, if I don't remember right, we maybe won the first night out in it, and then I kind of just drove it on and off for a couple years, and he called me 2 years ago now, and Les ended up having to have wrist surgery over the winter, and I was finishing up running late models for a guy locally here that I'd been running for quite a few years, and I was just kind of going to be done racing, and Les said, "You want to fill in for me while I have wrist surgery?" And it kind of went from there. We run really good, and at the end of that year, Les said he kind of wanted to, I don't necessarily phase out of racing, but asked if I'd keep driving the house car for him, and I gladly accepted.
Now, the success that you're enjoying to start this year off is the perfect way to begin a season. Are you the type of driver that feels like success right out of the box is really what you need to start a season, or do you feel like week to week, it doesn't matter what you did the week before, you just build on it?
I'm kind of a guy that takes it one day at a time. I don't try to look too far ahead. I always tell everybody I'd rather be lucky than good any day, and we had a lot of luck Friday, and cautions kind of fell our way. And a great race up front with Jake Tim, Corey Krapser, and Josh Hanks. I was kind of riding around in fourth there, and from my seat, it was really, really fun to watch them three kind of duke it out up front, and that gave me kind of an opportunity to feel out the racetrack and try some different lines, and sometimes it's not always good to start up front.
Now, you did just say that you're not the type of guy who really looks too far out in the future, but I'm going to ask it nonetheless. Have you guys laid out a plan for this season? Do you kind of know what 2019 schedule-wise is going to look like with you in that number 44?
At this point right now, I do know that we're going to run Mississippi Thunder Speedway every Friday night. Saturdays, more than likely, we're going to go to Deer Creek on Saturdays with this new motor package that I got that Bob and Jake Tim provided me with. It's a 415 concept, USRA concept motor. So I'm kind of limited to USRA racetracks, kind of going to do some US MTS racing when they're close by and my work schedule permits. And we did run second up at Cedar Lake, so we're sitting second in points there, but I don't see us running there weekly, or tell you the truth, I'm not really a points racer either, so however the cookie crumbles at the end of the year is how it goes.
Now, of course, those race fans who are familiar with Adam Hensel Racing will remember that, you're a former WISSOTA late model national champion. How do you relate piloting the modified with your experience in the past? Are you having just as much fun now as you were back then?
Yeah, I'm having a blast. Anytime a guy or gal gets to strap into a race car, whether it be a pure stock, a street stock, it's so much fun. The adrenaline rush that you get with it is is unreal, and having fun is what it's all about. If you can't have fun, it's too much work to keep doing it.
Well, let's have a little fun talking about those folks who are supporting your racing efforts this year.
Yeah, we have a lot of excellent sponsors that we've had for a couple years now, and that have been with me for a long time too, and Les both. Just like to thank Dirt Dueler Chassis, Les Dolman Racing Supplies, Minnesota State College Southeast, Ideal Signs and Apparel, Rods Painting and Sandblasting, Roach Trucking, OFI Performance with Jake and Bob Tim there, Chris Cruising Music, Renegade Race Fuels, Miller Ingenuity, LAH Enterprises, Attack Shock, Toquam Family Farms, Doug with Go Lithium's been great, Photos by Spitz with Charlie Weber, Swift Springs, JNC Properties, TJ's Oil and Race Fuel, Real Wheels, Weir's Machine, PM Rear Ends and Drive Shafts, Quick Car, Schaefer's Oil, BI Headers, Buck Wild Brando, Gilland Enterprises with Justice Brothers Car Care Products, Brody and Tito Viltz also, Kirkpatrick Law Office, and Merchant Card International with Carl Brunhosel, and Bodies by Big Country.
My goodness, the old saying is that it takes a village to succeed, and I think we just ran through the village phone book with that list right there. But I tell you what, they all help out, and they're all an integral part of the team and supporting the team, and they were all able to enjoy a little bit of that victory this past Friday night. Adam, congratulations on the win at MTS last Friday night. Best of luck the rest of the year, and really, thank you very much for taking some time to join me this week on Thunder Talk.
No, thanks for having me, Dan. I appreciate it anytime.
Adam Hensel, driver of the LDR, number 44, a feature winner last Friday night at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Hey, race fans, don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at Dan Bailey MTS, at Dan Bailey MTS. I try and keep you up to date with race results, especially winners, on race nights Friday at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. And, of course, a full edition of this Thunder Talk will be on the Mississippi Thunder Speedway YouTube channel. Look for it there. Until next week, take care.
Come on down to the jailhouse saloon. Yeah, come on down to the jailhouse saloon.
The Jailhouse Saloon is where everyone wants to do time. Come on in and nab up some of the best homemade pizza around. The Jailhouse has happy hour weekdays from 2 until 6, free pool on Mondays, and lunch every day at a great price.
The jailhouse saloon where everyone wants to do time.